Your Classical Storytime is supported by All Energy Solar, dedicated to making a brighter future for your children. Offering solar installation services that reduce carbon emissions and minimize electricity usage for decades to come. allenergysolar.com. Welcome to Your Classical Storytime. I'm Valerie. Today's story is called Outfoxed and features music by Dmitri Kabalevsky. Do you know Mr. Fox? He's quick and sly and very handsome. He's also a bit of a scoundrel. Sometimes he's crafty, sneaky in hopes of finding a meal, and sometimes he just makes mischief for its own sake. Like the day he decided to play a prank on the stork, whose long orange clapper of a beak was almost as funny as his long skinny legs with their knobbly knees. Fox, who knew he was very handsome, often teased the stork about his looks. But this day he did not. Instead, he asked the stork to dinner. "Come have a supper with me tonight," he said, chuckling to himself about the trick he was going to play. The easygoing stork accepted at once. That evening, he showed up at Fox's house very happy and very hungry. And then Fox served dinner. It was soup. But it was in an extremely shallow bowl. Imagine friend stork trying to eat soup from a bowl like that.
Oh dear.
Why, he could barely get the tippy tip of his beak wet in that bowl, let alone slurp up any soup.
My goodness.
But the fox lapped it up easily. To needle the stork even more, Fox made a big show of saying how wonderful the soup was, how delicious, how satisfying. Yum, yum. The hungry stork was disappointed by the trick, but he was a calm, even-tempered bird and didn't see the point in flying into a rage. He thanked the fox and gangled his way home on his long legs. While the fox laughed to himself about the great prank he'd pulled. A few days later, the stork invited the fox to dine with him. When the fox arrived, his tummy growling, he could smell the delicious fish dinner the stork had cooked and was very excited to dig into the meal. Ooh, that smells good. But the stork served it in a tall jar with a very narrow neck. It was easy for the stork to get at the food with his long, skinny orange beak, but all the fox could do was lick the outside of the jar and sniff at the delicious odor. Dagnabbit! And when the fox lost his temper, the stork said calmly,
Maybe don't play tricks on someone unless you can handle being tricked yourself.
So the fox slunk away into the evening, embarrassed and hungry. As he trotted home through the woods, a wise old rooster flew into a tall tree, preparing to settle in for the night. The rooster flapped his wings 3 times, flap, 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 and crowed loudly. Just as he was about to tuck his head under his wing to sleep, his eyes caught a flash of red and a long pointed nose. There below him was Mr. Fox, who was out of sorts about missing dinner, but not so out of sorts that he wouldn't try another trick. "Hello, friend rooster! Have you heard the wonderful news?" cried the fox in a very joyful and excited voice. "What news?" the rooster asked. He spoke calmly, but he had a fluttery, nervous feeling inside, because he was quite afraid of the fox. "Your family and mine and all the other animals have agreed to forget their differences and live in peace and friendship from now on forever. Just think of it! Come down, dear friend, and let's celebrate this joyful event. I simply cannot wait to hug you." He laughed to himself. "That is amazing," said the rooster. "I am thrilled to hear it." He said it in kind of a distracted way, stretched up on his tiptoes, where he seemed to be looking at something in the distance. "What are you looking at?" asked the fox, a little anxiously. "Awesome!" the rooster crowed excitedly. "Looks to me like a couple of dogs are coming this way. They must have heard the good news too and are on their way to—" But the fox did not wait to hear more and took off running. "Wait!" cried the rooster. "Why are you running away?"
Dogs are friends of yours now.
Well, yes, said the fox over his shoulder, but they might not have heard the news yet. Also, he added, I have a very important thing to do that I'd almost forgotten about.
Ta-ta!
The rooster learned that night that a trickster is easy to trick. He smiled to himself as he tucked his head into his feathers. He and the stork went to sleep happy that night, pleased to have gotten the better of sly Mr. Fox. The end. Thanks for listening to Your Classical Storytime from APM, American Public Media. To find out more about today's story and explore the rest of our library, visit yourclassical.org/storytime.